This is Ben with bkashaaudio.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this sound. Sounds a little bit like a synthesized explosion or LFE effect from a modern movie trailer. I'm going to make it using Massive, so we'll go through the process of recreating this. I'm going to start with a brand new instance of Massive. We'll disarm this old one. Alright, so we've got a fresh instance of Massive. First thing I'm going to do is draw in the note that I'll use. So I'm using a relatively low note. Let me create a new MIDI item. Okay, so it looks like I'm using a C2. So I'll just drag that in there. Okay, we have our note. In Massive, I'm going to shut off all the oscillators, the modulation section, the noise, the feedback. And I will select sine square, move the wavetable all the way to sine. So we have a very low-pitched sound. You may have to turn up your speakers or headphones to hear this. And I'm going to grab the first envelope, zero the attack out, and I'll drag that onto pitch and increase it to about 15. Bring the level of the decay down. So we get a bit of attack here now. Alright, good. So that's going to be the base of the sound. Then I'll move over to our noise. Select murmur. And for the first effect, I'm going to add classic tube for a little bit of grit. And it's really going to make this sound like an explosion is the reverb. Alright, not bad. So I'm going to take that first envelope and I'm going to apply it to color. This will give a little tonal variation. And I'm going to apply the same envelope to the wavetable position. And I'll take one of these LFOs, apply that to the amp. I'm going to lower the rate of the LFO. So the sound slowly morphs. Now we can make this a little grittier. So I will add a, let's see, what do we want to add here? Let's add a hard clipper. And a parabolic shaper. That's nice. That's significantly more powerful. And the final thing I want to do is move over to the amp section here. And there's currently no release on the sound, so if I release a key on my keyboard, it stops. It's really short, and I want to change that. So we have envelope number 4 in the amp section. I'm just going to increase the release. So we get a nice fade off when we release the key. Alright, that sounds pretty good. We can make this a little bit more powerful, even more powerful, if we increase the unison voices. So we're currently at 1. I'm going to increase them a bit more. Alright, that sounds pretty good. So let's just load up an instance of Span so we can see what our sound looks like. Sounds good and looks pretty good to me. I do want to make a couple of EQ tweaks, so I'm going to load up a REQ. And this might be a little bit too big on a system with the subwoofer if it's going to be in the LFE. So I want to tame that low end a little bit, and to do that, I'm just going to lower a little bit of this stuff. Alright, that's looking good, and maybe it could use a little bit more high end as well. I'll just disable that. So that's before and after. Just a little bit more clarity. And the last thing I want to do is I want to make it loud. So we'll grab one of the JS limiter plugins, set the ceiling to -0.3, and kind of move the threshold down until we get no more than -3 dB of reduction. There we go. So we had a little clipping in the meters that was before I added the limiter. So now we are not clipping. We're nice and loud. We're EQ'd. And this is our effect. Ready to go into a movie trailer. And there's one other cool thing that you can do with this, I found when I was making it. If you take the reverb control and adjust the size, you can actually make an effect that sounds like the explosion is sucking back inward. So I'm going to trigger the sound and then manipulate the size to be smaller, and listen to what happens. I thought that was something cool that you could add into your effects or add in a macro for, just another variation of it. But anyway, that is a synthesized explosion sort of LFE sound. If you like that, subscribe to the channel, and there will be more tutorials on this channel, and visit bkashaaudio.com.